Good morning or good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm Dave Leggett. I'm the editor of global auto industry news and analysis website, justauto.com. And I'll be hosting this website here today. We'll be considering something very interesting, the rapid pace of industrial change and how companies can meet the auto industry's many emerging challenges. It is my pleasure to have Siemens with us today, who will be presenting this webinar entitled Unlocking Engineering Innovation in the Cloud. Now, before we get into the main meat of the presentation, I'll just provide some simple housekeeping information. First of all, please send your questions throughout the webinar. Don't wait until the end. We will allocate some time at the end of the session to address any questions or thoughts that you may have. So keep those questions coming. If your question does not get answered today, don't worry, it will be available to be answered later. And for any related content on the webinar, please click on the widget shown on your screen. If you should have any technical issues, don't worry, please click on the help icon. And now, without further ado, please allow me to welcome our speaker, Tom Spangler. Over to you, Tom.
Thank you, David. So as David noted, today we're going to be talking about unlocking engineering innovation using new technologies, specifically the cloud, but we're also going to talk about a few other areas as well. So as we all know, this industry is changing very rapidly. So that means you have to adapt to those changes. And what you need to figure out as an OEM or a supplier is, how are you going to do that? So as we look at all the trends that are affecting this industry right now, autonomous, sustainability, safety, electrification, connectivity, so on and so on, we start to see how important software is going to be for future vehicles. Things like over-the-air updates, subscription-based services, data analytics, and all those kinds of things mean that innovation is going to come from software more than anything else in future vehicles. Frank, with all this change, automotive companies need to adapt or die. Competition's not standing still. So if they don't adapt quickly in areas like time to market and cost and quality, and that ability to get new features out quickly, they will be left behind. So everything is changing. We've established that, but why? Well, there are several reasons. Consumers have come to expect more quality, more performance, more technology. And given the global competitive situation, all that has to be delivered at an accelerated pace. Consumers and governments worldwide also expect more sustainable, efficient vehicles. And that not only drives alternative powertrains, but also things like lightweighting and optimized designs. And of course, as these cars are getting smarter and more connected all the time, that introduces its own set of engineering challenges. The other thing that's happened is new competition. The old days of relatively few competitors and annual feature updates are over. Just a few years ago, not that many people, at least in the West, had heard of BYD, and now they're the largest EV maker in the world. That's just one example of the newcomers and emerging markets that are putting competitive pressure on legacy automakers, and they're compressing timelines. As technology becomes more of a differentiator, the ability to push those software updates via the cloud is more important than ever as well. So we at Siemens Digital Industry Software recognize the need for a solution that enables organizations to digitally transform. So we offer the Siemens Accelerator Business Platform. That helps organizations of all sizes digitally transform using software, hardware, and services through three competitive differentiators. The first is to help you create and leverage a comprehensive digital twin that enables you to create closed-loop connections between the virtual and physical worlds across the whole value chain, and that helps you develop actionable insights and make better informed decisions. Second, to use personalized solutions that fit your needs. Solutions and innovative applications that are quickly adaptable to changing business conditions help you stay ahead of your competition. And the third is to operate in an open, flexible ecosystem of partners, suppliers, and developers to leverage interoperable technologies to enhance productivity, efficiency, and cost savings, delivering you measurable business outcomes. So to narrow down a little bit more, what we're specifically talking about is NX, which is our product engineering solution here at Siemens. The foundation of the digital twin is the digital twin of the product, and the creation of that digital product starts with NX. NX is the next generation design solution that delivers advanced 3D design capabilities to the accelerator portfolio. It seamlessly integrates across disciplines, including electrical and electronic systems. It enables more iterations, and it utilizes the latest manufacturing and simulation methods to help you build the richest, most comprehensive digital twin of your product, and ultimately deliver the best designs to market faster. In short, NX has the tools to break down the barriers to innovation and fulfill your digitalization strategy. So as we look at the future of automotive engineering, we at Siemens see four main areas where most of the innovation is going to happen. Those areas are the cloud, digital threads, artificial intelligence, and the industrial metaverse. So the first area, and the one we're going to spend most of the time on today, is the cloud. We feel that cloud-based CAD is the future of product engineering, and our solutions are going to lead the way. So NXX is our cloud offering. It is NX on the cloud. It offers all the features and functionality of NX, but delivered in a more flexible and simplified way. It's a solution that you can easily download and install onto your devices. And that approach delivers that unparalleled functionality and offline access that ensures productivity even if you don't have an internet connection. It also provides a simplified IT approach through the cloud centralized license management, configuration, and updates, all provided by Siemens. And it includes data management capabilities with every seat. So you will have secure and trusted data management and easier collaboration without the threat of data risk. It's built on the same NX architecture and uses the same data model. It's completely integrated with NX and the other products throughout the Siemens Accelerator platform. So now we're going to take a look at a promotional video we have for NXX.
Today's products are smarter, more connected and personalized, creating new challenges for you. As complexity grows, higher costs, data security risks, and an increased need for IT support can all slow you down. Adopting a modern technology portfolio with high-end computer-aided design software will accelerate production cycles and set you on the path to success. Siemens NX is a proven, award-winning product engineering solution that offers powerful integrated CAD for everyone, from startups to global enterprises. Features such as performance predictor, sustainability impact analysis, synchronous technology, AI capabilities, and immersive engineering provide an unparalleled user experience and have become essential building blocks in the creation of the digital twin of your product. Such a high-end solution may seem out of reach, but not anymore. The capabilities of NX are now available as full software as a service, NXX. NXX can be easily installed onto your devices for seamless connectivity and scalability. Built on NX architecture, you can continue to collaborate across disciplines with zero data loss, reducing delays, errors, and rework with confidence in secure data management capabilities. With NXX, the flexibility to easily accommodate changing user demands is built in from the start, without the need for expensive IT infrastructure upgrades. Siemens delivers, manages, and updates NXX software so you don't have to, enabling your engineers to focus on what they do best: innovate. NXX delivers precise design power with unlimited capacity to scale as you grow. And through NXX value-based licensing, you can continue to evolve and adapt to industry advances with optional add-on modules, expanding core functionality features in real time with ease. A flexible experience, simplified IT, secure data, and seamless scalability. The power of NX is now in your hands with Siemens NXX. What will you create?
So the video kind of touched on some of the highlights of NXX, and now we're going to go into a little bit more detail on the different aspects. So now we're going to discuss some of the key facts around the NXX offerings. There are 3 named user scalable seat options. Each seat option builds on the previous tier to offer more features and functionality to meet increasing design demands. And every core seat includes data management, as I mentioned, and that reduces that data risk and increases collaboration. You also get the option to expand the NXX core seat feature set through NXX value-based licensing available with optional add-ons. So NXX addresses the growing complexity of product development workflows by making working across disciplines much easier. NXX is completely integrated with the other products throughout the Siemens Accelerator portfolio. So that includes NX CAM, SimCenter 3D, Capital wiring harness design. And that eliminates the need for data translation or the worry of data being lost or left behind. And the other thing with NXX, you can remain confident that you're going to be able to leverage your NX data. We can actually open data that was saved in Unigraphics as far back as the 1980s, and it still works fine and still has full history in NX and NXX. Accelerator platform is the only platform that can claim that kind of end-to-end seamless and unified connection. That provides you that competitive advantage to help you scale and connect seamlessly through the whole product lifecycle, from starting with engineering to simulations through to manufacturing and beyond. This isn't just us saying this either, and the market has noticed, as you can see from this SimData quote. And it shows how we're continuing to innovate, all in service of helping customers embrace complexity and reach their productivity goals. Extending digital transformation one step further, NXX enables seamless connection beyond engineering. While you're working between OEMs and supply chains, you can expect zero loss of data fidelity, and that reduces the overall cost of operation. That starts with Zelx for customers looking solely for an entry browser-based solution. As those customer needs grow beyond what Zelx can provide, NXX is the next step in the journey, providing those 3 scalable seat options that I mentioned for access to advanced engineering solutions. And when you leverage NXX for engineering, Zelx can still be used for groups outside of engineering, for departments like production and suppliers, so that they can collaborate more effectively. And as those needs extend further into more advanced and complex workflows, NXX users can also leverage value-based licensing, which we'll go into a little bit more in a minute. So all of this is within the NX architecture. Zelx, NXX, NXX value-based licensing, all combined to unlock better ways of work. So as I mentioned, NXX is a managed product engineering environment. Siemens manages the configuration, updates, and backups of the environment so you can focus on the design process. Software installations and updates are automated with new release functionality available every 6 months without any action necessary from the user. This is really pretty important. This is something that is a major advantage of cloud deployment. As we continue to innovate and come out with new releases and new functionality, some of which was mentioned in the video, you will have access to it on day 1 if you are on NXX, because you are constantly being updated and brought up to the latest version. NXX uses a named user model. So what that means is, if you think of your Microsoft 365 subscription, where you log onto your computer and you have your name up in the corner of the screen and it always knows who you are, it works the same way for NXX. So it means you log into your Siemens account to access NXX. That helps you to synchronize your settings across multiple machines, and it gives you better flexibility for things like remote work, collaboration. It helps you scale, and it makes license management much easier. It also makes for a better, more personalized user experience and enables a lot of our AI-based features, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. And as we continue to develop NXX going forward, that named user model is going to enable unique features that will be exclusive to NXX. So even though NXX has only been available for a short time, we already have well over 100 customers using it in the field today. The UK-based mobility company that's focused on affordable and available zero-emissions vehicles. One of the biggest challenges that they deal with is global design with local manufacturing. So collaboration is really a key to them being successful. Steve Pegg, the CEO and co-founder, said, having access to cutting-edge product engineering software and the associated digital twins wherever and whenever we need it is fundamental to achieving our vision. So as I mentioned, NXX includes value-based licensing that provides the access to the full breadth of NX capabilities at a great value to the user. VBL gives you that unmatched flexibility through token licensing that provides immediate access to that new functionality as soon as it's released into the token pool. One purchase unlocks access to all those products that are within the pool, currently over 100 with more coming all the time. This is a game-changing, cost-effective solution that provides easy accessibility to explore more what-if scenarios and increase innovation, ensuring that you get the most out of your NXX experience. Here are just some of the examples of the types of advanced functionality that are available in the value-based licensing token pool. Anything from additive manufacturing to electrical or mechanical routing, translation, printed circuit board design, mold and die design, and even some of our immersive engineering tools are available via VBL. One of the other key differentiators of NXX is that base level built-in data management capabilities are included with every seat of NXX. So that makes it easy to get started with effective, secure, and trusted data management. You can work in your CAD interface and quickly upload existing data with self-service tools. Those capabilities also include real-time collaboration with easy Google-like search of your product designs and data. You can check in and check out. You can participate in discussions and even mark up 3D models to give context to your work. Also, it's important to note that NXX can work with existing Teamcenter on-premise installations as well. So built-in data management delivers real value. Getting started is easy because there's no custom installations or configurations. It comes pre-provisioned and pre-configured with that named user co-administration and configured templates that can be managed or deleted. Thanks to that named user model, the user's settings follow them on whatever device they're using. The other advantage of built-in data management is that it eliminates duplicates and file overwrites. It gives you that rapid search and check in, check out that I talked about, and it gives you task tracking as well. One of the other things it does is it associates the conversation to the part that it's being worked on, so it helps you collaborate more effectively when everyone is talking to the same thing. You can also close tasks when they're done, and you do this all right from the NXX CAD environment. You don't have to jump out to a separate Teamcenter environment. With the inclusion of Teamcenter Share, NXX also provides an added layer of ad hoc collaboration capabilities. This is for interaction with external suppliers on engineering products and across multiple roles and applications. So it helps you be more consistent by controlling access to the design data, helps you make decisions more quickly by enabling review of simulation results anywhere using any device. And it helps you to fully embrace the complexity of your modern designs when you're working with your external supply chain. So I'm going to add a little bit more clarity to the difference between NXX's built-in data management and Teamcenter Share because they are different. Built-in data management is made for product design and development inside your company with stakeholders like engineering, purchasing, manufacturing, and so on. Teamcenter Share, on the other hand, is for ad hoc collaboration outside your company, such as with suppliers, customers, contractors, or vendors. Our next area is digital threads. The definition of a digital thread is a data-driven architecture that links data gathered during a product lifecycle from all involved in distributed manufacturing systems. So what this means to us from a CAD and engineering standpoint is an end-to-end comprehensive product engineering system that addresses the full needs of OEMs and suppliers. NXX enables a flexible approach to design that allows parametric, solid, and surface geometry and facet geometry all to work seamlessly together in a single model. It also offers integrated electromechanical design that's critical for maintaining in quality and speeding delivery, especially as cars become more connected and electrified. All this is done with a single source of data with no need for translation, and that enables you to respond more quickly to design changes as well. NXX also offers strong multi-CAD capabilities, meaning you can use data from any source. Access to important data within the NX environment improves collaboration and allows fewer or better review cycles, and that improves speed and accuracy. Requirements tracing from concept through to the finished product using model-based systems engineering improves quality and regulatory compliance. NX Sustainability Impact Analysis targets the complete product lifecycle from design through manufacturing and even logistics that allows assessment and reporting on not only material extraction and piece part material impacts, but it provides insight into the impact of assembly, production, transportation, and end of life. So once again, having that integrated CAD, CAM, and CAE allows for a single source of data, no translation. You can do analysis in the same environment as CAD with the same data set. You can simulate manufacturing and assembly processes to predict the amount and causes of variation, and you can find quality issues early using intelligent design for manufacturing tools that support concept to production. To Siemens, AI is more than a buzzword. It's a valuable tool, and it's already making our users more efficient and productive. It's one of our key areas of innovation. AI tools in NXX improve productivity with things like command and selection prediction, where NX can anticipate what you're going to select or what command you're going to need next. And particularly for NXX being in the cloud, we're going to continue to improve on this with more personalized experience that are based on that named user model I mentioned. AI can also help new users get up to speed with natural language interaction and by leveraging existing expertise and knowledge. AI also enables things like generative engineering in NX that helps you to arrive quickly at an optimal design with a method that mimics nature's evolutionary approach. Optimized designs can reduce part count and weight, and you can harness compute power to explore multiple design alternatives. Creating those optimized designs without CAE expertise makes it easier for people to access the power of tools like this. Continuing on AI, we've just announced Copilot, which is exclusively for NXX. It's powered by Microsoft Azure, and it takes this natural language interaction and task automation to a new level. You can literally tell NXX what you want to do in natural language, and it'll execute the commands needed to do it. You can give it things like documentation or engineering best practice documents and things like that, and it can use that information to guide your designs. So not only does that make it easier for new users to get up to speed, but it also gives experienced users access to all the knowledge they need and easy access to validation tools that improve quality. So our last focus area is the industrial metaverse. This is a virtual environment where different people can interact with live, real-time access to the same data, improving collaboration and speeding up the design process. NX enables an immersive 3D virtual environment where you can work on the actual NX data in full scale with walk and fly through navigation. You get the design right the first time when you have better understanding. Entire teams can meet in a virtual immersive 3D environment. Everyone can view the same model and review, discuss, and provide feedback in real time. That promotes better understanding of issues and quicker resolution. We've also recently introduced NX Immersive Explorer, which is a significantly advanced immersive capability that's available within value-based licensing. It builds on our previous virtual reality efforts with improved navigation, visual materials, transparency, and an upgraded interface, all using a cutting-edge virtual reality headset that we developed in collaboration with Sony. So as we get ready to wrap up, I'd like to just reiterate one more time the values of this next generation design using NX and NXX. Our ongoing commitment to provide the most productive tools in the market means we are continuing to innovate in CAD and modeling, even as some of our competition is de-emphasizing those areas. I talked about generative engineering and AI that helps you create those revolutionary lightweight designs inspired by nature that maintain the performance of the part. A single platform for electromechanical design saves time, reduces errors, and breaks down the barriers between departments. When you have your data presented in the format and context needed to complete the task, you can work more efficiently with your broader team and make better decisions. And finally, a complete engineering solution from concept to manufacturing means you can go from concept to production in one environment with one source of data. So I don't need to tell anybody that we are living in uncertain times. So what you need to do is equip yourself with the tools to survive short-term uncertainty and thrive in the future. And as we get ready to wrap this up, I would encourage you to check out our hashtag NXMakesItReal on all your social media platforms. Our customers are using this as a way of tagging some of the wonderful products that they are creating using our software. And there's some really cool stuff out there. So I would definitely encourage you to go check that out and see what's being created. And with that, I'll hand it back to you, David.
Great, thanks very much, Tom. Some really interesting information in that presentation. So thanks very much for that. You certainly covered a lot of ground on that cloud-based NXX solution and capabilities. We've actually got a few questions have already come in. So if I just refer to them. Oh, just a reminder to everyone, please submit your questions in the Ask a Question box. Okay, so keep those questions coming. But I can see we've got a couple already. So I'll grab the first question. So the first question, Tom, is this. Do I have to use the built-in data management in NXX?
That's a very good question, actually. It does come with it, obviously, and you are able to use on-prem Teamcenter as well. But the answer is no, you do not have to use it. If you want to use NXX in what we call native mode, where you're just using the file system of your machine, you have the option to do that as well.
Great, good to have that flexibility. Second question. And this is one that I think touches on something that's front of mind for all of us. You know, the big issue of AI. So the question is this: I keep hearing that AI will change the world, but I have my doubts. You're not the only one. How is what Siemens is doing any different?
Well, we see our difference as we're using it to make tasks easier. One of the big things that we've used AI for in the last couple of revisions is things like selection prediction. So if you're a CAD designer, if you've worked in CAD software, and you have to, if you're working on a complex part that has a lot of edges, say you need to do a blend on something, say a fan blade that has a lot of blades or things like that, and you have to go through and pick every one of those edges individually, it can take forever, and it can be very easy to pick the wrong thing and have to start over. Things like selection prediction are smart enough to be able to look at that model and recognize all those similar edges and select all of them for you. And it's a massive time savings. When we've done this at some of our user group meetings and demonstrated it, people have stood up and cheered because this is such a major time savings for them. So that's where we really see AI. We don't see it as replacing designers or engineers. We see it as automating some of that repetitive stuff, the sort of, boring picks and clicks that don't really add value, just to make you more efficient is really the differentiator that we see. And we've already delivered quite a bit of functionality in the last 2 or 3 revisions of NX. And we're just only building on it with things like Copilot. I mean, Copilot's pretty spectacular. I've seen the demo of that where you can literally tell it, I want to make XYZ change to this part. Copilot is smart enough to know, okay, then I need to execute this series of commands in NX, and it will go through them in sequence and make the changes that you request in real time while you sit there and watch it. So you don't even necessarily need to know what all the commands are in order to be able to execute those commands and do that. Excuse me.
Great. AI as a time saver sounds promising. Very specific questions come in. Can you talk a bit more about electromechanical design in the context of reducing time to performing engineering change requests?
Yeah, I mean, in the past, we've had separate mechanical and electrical design software, and we still do to some extent. But so the way it would work is, the mechanical design of, say, a car door, would be completed, and then it would be passed over to the electrical design people who have to route some wiring through that door. And as we know now with connected cars, there's more wiring than ever. There's more sensors, there's cameras, things like that. So, and that would get passed back and forth between the two systems with translation and not necessarily speaking the same language. And what we enable with NX and Capital, which can work together in real time, is the collaborative design of things like wiring harnesses and printed circuit boards and other electrical components working directly in the mechanical and electrical systems simultaneously. So instead of being in a serial setup, it's a parallel setup. So that means you can get those ECOs done much more quickly, and you can do it with fewer errors because you're not having to translate back and forth. You're working together in real time.
Okay, got one more question I can see has come in, coming from quite an interesting direction here. As an automotive company, why should I care about VR and AR?
That's a good question too. It's another thing, obviously, we've been hearing a lot about, and it's going to save the world, right? So what we see is, especially with this new Immersive Explorer that we have, is it's really for collaboration, especially as we see more distributed teams. One of the things, I mentioned our customer Helix that's working, with remote teams. They're doing design work in the UK, but their manufacturing's happening somewhere else. So when you run into problems with the data, or you need to refine a design in some way, being able to do it in the VR environment, where you can actually sort of experience the design in 3D and really get a better sense of the design and what it looks like, and you can do it from anywhere in the world, is really a major advantage, because people can visualize things much better in that kind of a 3D environment than they can just on a flat 2D screen. You can also do things like training with it. So, if you have a vehicle design and you need to train service employees, for instance, on how to, perform service on a vehicle, you can give them the VR goggles, and they can interact with the 3D model and learn how things go together on the vehicle, without having to actually do it on the mechanical vehicle. So it makes it much easier and quicker to get service employees up to speed as well. The other thing to keep in mind about the way we do AR and VR is that it is real NX data that you're looking at. It's not a virtual representation. It's not a copy or anything like that. When you have the headset on and you're looking at the data, you are looking at actual NX parts.
Great. Okay. Thanks, Tom. That's probably not a bad point at which to just to sort of wrap up on the Q&A. What I would stress though is that you can still send any questions. So to the audience out there, keep those questions coming. You can still send them in while watching a playback or watching this webinar on demand. And all unanswered questions and future questions sent will be answered at a later date. So we will get back to you. I would like to thank Tom Spangler for that very informative presentation, and also Siemens for sponsoring this webinar. Thanks very much. To the
Thank you.
attendees, the final bit of housekeeping here, you will receive an email with a link to the on-demand version of this webinar that I just mentioned, or you can access it through our website, which is www.arena-international.com. So that's www.arena-international.com. So it just remains me to say, really, thanks again, Tom. We will look forward to sharing further webinars with you. So please keep an eye on the website, the Arena website that I just mentioned. And once again, thank you all for joining us. And thanks again to Tom. And I hope you all have a very nice day. Goodbye.